Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. For today's video, I am going to be sharing my second and third trimester recaps. So I just posted my first trimester recap announcing I was pregnant, and a few short days later I had my baby. So I didn't really film much while I was pregnant. I kind of waited till the end, and I was planning on getting this video up before I had my son, but that did not happen because I had him a couple weeks early. So if you'd like to hear about my second and third trimesters, how it went, and more importantly, the products that I could not live without those last few months, then just keep watching. So like I mentioned, I uploaded my first trimester recap. I will link it up on one of the sides right here. But my first trimester was very easy in comparison to others. I cannot say the same for my third trimester. My third trimester was a doozy. But let's start with my second trimester. So starting in the second trimester, right as I hit the second trimester was when we went down to California to tell our families that we were pregnant. And that was so much fun to be able to tell them in person, especially since it was our first. That was something that we really wanted to do to make it super special. So that was a blast. That was week 14, and week 17, we actually found out that we were having a little boy, and that was such a fun appointment. I felt so strongly. I don't know if anyone else felt like they knew the gender of their baby, but I felt so strongly about week 10 that he was gonna be a boy. I never once from that point thought it was gonna be a girl, so I would have been shocked. But when we were told that it was a boy, I was so like, yeah, it is a boy. Like, I wasn't even surprised. My husband, on the other hand, thought it was a girl, and he could not believe it. He was just floored. We were so excited. It was the best appointment. So that was so much fun. Other than his birth, that was definitely the most exciting moment in pregnancy, because you know, you realize if you're gonna have a son or a daughter, and it was the best. So that was week 17, so much fun. So those were the two main things that happened in the second trimester. And as far as symptoms go, I had none still. My second trimester, I was so much more energized, which was so exciting. I was still able to do everything in the gym. As my stomach continued to grow, it got a little more tricky, but I was still feeling so good. And at that time, towards the end of my second trimester, I was like, I feel like I should have like 10 kids. This is so easy. This is like the easiest thing. And I know every pregnancy is different, but that's just was my mindset at the time. I'm like, this is great. Then my third trimester came crashing in on me. It hit me like a ton of bricks. That's pretty much the gist of my second trimester. Not a ton happened because I still felt so good. I traveled so much in my first and my second trimester. I did probably 10 trips or so for work, and I did those by myself, and I had no problems. I had no swelling. I was totally good. So overall, second trimester was cakewalk. It was amazing. So the week I hit my third trimester, I started feeling lots of different things happening. So the first huge symptom I had starting in the third trimester was pelvic pain. It was mostly on my left side, but definitely on my right also. But around week 28, I started having such bad pelvic pain, not on the top, not like in my groin, but it was like underneath. It hurt so bad, and it hurt for the duration of my pregnancy. It was so bad to where I could not even put on pants, because you have to like stand on one leg to like put your other leg in. I had to sit on the bed and put on my pants. It was so hard. Like, I couldn't swing my legs to get in and out of the bed. My husband would have to push my legs over to the side for me. I did not realize how painful it could be, even just like getting up and down, because your ligaments are loosening up. The hormone that you have when you're pregnant, relaxin, just starts to relax everything that's in your body, all your muscles and all your joints, and all of your ligaments. So it makes sense as to why it was hurting, but it hurts so bad, and it's totally normal. But I feel like it's something that I had no clue that it was normal. It hurt constantly. The only thing that seemed to help was taking warm showers just to kind of relax my muscles, and then also going to the gym, which sounds really weird, but like walking and moving and like getting things moving and flowing honestly really helped. I wasn't able to do anything as far as like leg exercises go. The only thing I was able to do with my pelvic pain was squats, body weight squats, that's it. I wasn't able to do any lunges, like not even close, because it was so much pressure on my pelvis. So that was probably the hardest symptom that I had. It was just it just impeded everything that I did. I was able to do everything at the gym, and then suddenly I feel like it came to a halt. So that was really hard, just trying to navigate how to do daily things and normal things that I would do at the gym too, and I could not do them at all. I was just in so much pain. My other huge symptom that I had was rib pain, mostly in my right side. He just loved my right side. That's where his feet loved to be at all times. He would always just kick up there. I just had so much pain. Like I couldn't even sit on the couch. Because you're kind of hunched over, and it was just so painful. I actually did try a little experiment where I put, my doctor told me to do this, where I put a frozen bag of like veggies on like right where my rib was, where I could like feel his feet to see if that would kind of wiggle him out, and it totally worked. It was awesome. But I didn't want to do it too much because I didn't want him to like end up like flipping over or like flipping around. So I didn't do it a ton, but when it was so bad, I would do it just for a second just to kind of wiggle his feet out of there. So that was really nice. That was a little hack that I learned. And the rib pain made it so hard to sit anywhere. So sitting in the car, I would have to be like reclined back like this. Sitting at work, I ended up having to have a beanbag at work so I could lean back and have my computer on my lap because my rib pain was so intense. And then even sitting on the couch, I couldn't sit because I would be like hunched over. Had such a hard time sitting on the couch. It was just, between my pelvic pain and my rib pain, it was just so hard to get comfortable anywhere, which brings me to sleeping. The third trimester, probably week 32, 33, I had such a hard time sleeping from then on. Like there was some nights where I would wake up every single hour because I was putting too much pressure on my rib, and then I would switch, too much pressure on my ribs, and I would have to get up and like walk around for a while to like move him around into a more comfortable position before I could go back to sleep. So sleeping became so hard, and it wasn't even like fun to go to sleep anymore. Like I would be so tired, and it wasn't even fun to like go in bed and relax because I was so uncomfortable in any position. So that was really hard. But good news is all those symptoms went away the second I gave birth. I still have like a tiny bit of pelvic pain, but pretty much all of the symptoms went away. I can sleep so much better now. It's the best. So a couple of like the smaller symptoms that weren't super huge or like detrimental to my day. I was always out of breath, like always. Go watch my first trimester video and you just see how out of breath I am just talking to a camera. It was crazy. So out of breath. Next one is frequent urination. Holy Havana, yes. I seriously would pee like 5 times in an hour. It was ridiculous. Like I would pee, stand up, and I felt like I had to pee again. It was like, oh my gosh, that was so exciting not having to pee so often. I know right away I was like, oh my gosh, I don't have to pee every 10 minutes. It was amazing. So that's pretty much it as far as symptoms and things that I dealt with the third trimester. Now I'm going to switch over to products and things that I could not live without those last couple months. First couple of products that I loved to use so much, I use them every single morning and night, were ones for my belly and my body to keep it nice and hydrated, supple, to prevent stretch marks. So I used coconut oil every single night from head to toe. Well, not my face, but from here down on my entire body, I used coconut oil. And that was because your skin is stretching everywhere. My legs and my hips, my thighs, everything is getting bigger. My arms were getting bigger, my boobs, my stomach, especially obviously. Everything was getting bigger. So I wanted to make sure I was lathered up at nighttime for lots and lots of hydration. And that is another thing with drinking so much water, is it helps with keeping your body hydrated as well, and your skin. But I would use coconut oil every single night. I never missed a night because I wanted to prevent stretch marks if I could. And it worked. I got 0 stretch marks anywhere. And I'm not gonna say it was because of coconut oil, but I always kept my skin hydrated. So I would use this every night, lather up my whole bod, and then in the morning my skin was still very soft. But in the mornings, I would use a combination of this CeraVe moisturizing cream and this Retone body oil. I would put this together. I would use like a pump of this and then a few kind of splashes of this just to kind of give an oily consistency that would stay throughout the day. So I would use these together. Retone was so kind and sent this to me for me to try, and I really like it. It is the Retone body oil. It helps with stretch marks, scars, dry skin, uneven skin tone, and aging skin. It has 6 different oils along with vitamin E and C in it, and I really like it. I used it a ton and I only used that much. So a little bit goes a long way. So I would use these two in conjunction with one another every single morning, mostly just on my stomach and my thighs. I wouldn't lather up my whole body in the mornings, just for time purposes. But I still wanted my stomach and my thighs to be super hydrated with the night and in the day as well. So I loved these so much. Okay, so the next product that I honestly don't think I could have made it through my 3rd trimester without is this massager. It's an electric massager and it is battery powered, which is so nice. It just has the power button, if you can hear it. It has 6 different speeds and 6 different modes, depending on what kind of massage you want. But I would use this all the time in my ribs. So I would just put this right back in my rib and it would just kind of like work out all that pressure and all that pain. I used this guy so many times in the middle of the night. Anytime I would wake up and he, you know, my baby would be right in my ribs on either side, I would just put this here for a minute, just kind of massage out all of like the tenderness and all of the pressure, and also like all of like the stress built up there because it was so tense, and it would honestly help me go back to sleep every time. I even brought this to the hospital with me to help with labor and contractions. So like this is my #1 could not live without for my 3rd trimester. Next thing that I loved so much also is this heating pad. So it plugs into the wall, and it is just this, it has like carpet material, but I would place this on like my rib, just all on my side, and like lay on it, go to sleep for a little bit, take a nap, or while I'm watching TV, have it on my back or my hips or my ribs, just to relax my muscles and to relax my body. You know how warm showers like relax your muscles and just make everything kind of calm down? That's what this did for me. I'm pretty sure we got this like from Target. High, medium, and low settings so it doesn't get too warm and you can control that. So I loved this. I used this so much in the last couple months of my pregnancy. It was just so helpful for when I wanted to relax but my body like would not let me relax. So that was so nice. So as far as like my must-haves, couldn't live without, I am pretty practical. Like I'm not gonna go spend a ton of money just in case. Like I'm only gonna spend money on things that I will actually use and need. So these next few things, trust me, like I'm not just getting it to get it. Like they're actually so helpful and were amazing. And the last thing that I'm classifying as could not live without was my pregnancy pillow. Again, another item that I thought, I'm like, why am I gonna buy something for just a few months? Like that's so silly. I went over to my friend's house. I was 28, 30 weeks maybe. And she's like, oh my gosh, borrow mine. Like I don't need mine. She had just had a baby a few weeks before and she's like, yeah, take mine for the next few months. So I did, and it was amazing. It was the C-shaped pillow, the super long pillow that you're able to like intertwine and it can hold up your belly. I already gave it back to her. So I'll put a picture right here somewhere of the pillow I'm talking about. But something I also think is so worth it. So what happens when you're nearing the end of your pregnancy is your belly gets so heavy that when you're laying on your side, it kind of falls over to where you have so much pain in your ribs and in your stomach when you're laying on your side. And you're not supposed to lay on your stomach, obviously, and you're really not supposed to lay on your back. So when you're on your side, your belly gets so heavy. And so the pregnancy pillow is so nice because you're able to kind of intertwine it how you would like, so you can prop up your belly. It was so nice to have the last few months, something I couldn't live without, and I would have had such a harder time sleeping without it. So I loved the pregnancy pillow. Another thing that I really recommend doing and that helped so much during my achy 3rd trimester was I got weekly pregnancy massages throughout my entire pregnancy. And I know that sounds very like extra, but it just so happened to where I got in a car accident a few weeks before I got pregnant, and for 6 months I was able to get free massages through insurance. So for the good portion of my pregnancy, they were free, but the last few months I was like, these are so worth it. I had a 0 hip pain, 0 back pain, and any sort of like achiness I started to have, my massage therapist was able to massage out for me every week. So that was a game changer as far as feeling great in especially my 1st and 2nd trimester. I feel like that is why I had 0 pain of any sort my 1st and 2nd trimester, was because I was seeing a massage therapist every week. So if you're able to swing it, or even every other week, every few weeks, go try to find someone who is able just to kind of massage out your knots and massage out different areas of your body that are changing. She helped so much with my pelvic pain. Obviously it always came back because I was pregnant, but it would just help kind of minimize the pain. So that was such a must-have for me. And honestly, I feel like from here on out, I'm always gonna budget out when I get pregnant to be able to go and do weekly massages, because it was a game changer and I feel like it helped me feel so great for so long. So I highly recommend getting a massage if you can swing it in your 3rd trimester. It will help so much with the aches and the pains that come along with pregnancy. So I think that pretty much wraps up my 2nd and 3rd trimester. So my next video will be my birth story, everything that happened, and also meeting my son on my YouTube channel. I want to introduce my son on here. So I will say my birth story is not super typical. I got diagnosed with something later on in my pregnancy and I had to be induced right away. All of my birth plans just went this way and I was thinking they were going this way. So it was definitely a pretty scary situation. Everything turned out fine, obviously, but I did have my son a few weeks before I was hoping to. So that my birth story will be my next video. And I'm so excited to share my birth story on here, more so to raise awareness for the diagnosis that I got. I want more people to know about it because it is a life-threatening diagnosis. So I'm excited to kind of share awareness, and also I really want to stress to people to be your own advocate. That is what I will say. So I will share that all in my next video and I'm so excited to share that with you guys. Also, leave me any comments down below about your pregnancy, questions you have. I would love to hear about other people's pregnancies and how things went for them as well. So if you're interested in seeing that video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and also give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it. I would love for you guys to join my YouTube fam. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys liked this video and I will see you in my next one. Bye.